got his hand.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Skunk Hub. This is our first podcast, so we're kind of giving this a trial to see how it goes. My name is RB, and we're just going to go over some questions about what happened yesterday in the election, and, most importantly, what's happened to medical marijuana and recreational marijuana. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce my cast members here. They're just going to give a little splurge about themselves, whatever information they want to give out to the public. So go ahead. Take it away.
My name's Junior. I've been smoking. First started smoking when I was 19 years old. I've been smoking for 5 years. I'm 24 now.
My name is Ricardo. Consider myself a late bloomer. I did start smoking at 21 was the first time, and regularly for the past 4 years.
Daily.
My name is Martin. I've been smoking for 4 years. Started at about 19.
Yeah, so as the host, I'm actually not a smoker, so that's kind of a weird thing to say, especially when we're running this website about medical and recreational marijuana. But I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I'm kind of just curious to see what the culture's like, and most importantly, just kind of learning more about it instead of just being negative against it because I'm not part of it. So that was my biggest reason for doing this. I might be interested in smoking in the future, but as of yesterday, medical marijuana now legal in California. Recreational.
I remember maybe like a year ago, you said if it ever passes as recreational, I will smoke. And I said from that day,
I did.
Let us be the first to smoke you out. Probably.
No.
You did say that.
I did.
And then he came out with the federal.
And then he said, right?
See, the thing is, I did say that. I'm going on record as I did say that. It was medical back then. Now it's recreational. I'm just still kind of sketched out by the whole thing as far as laws go. With it. Maybe one day it becomes federal approved, not a substance stage 1 or whatever they call it. Then I might do it. So I mean, definitely open to it. I don't mind it. Mostly, my biggest concern is basically just jobs. Really, yeah, it can be legal recreationally, but federally it's still not illegal. So I don't want to get, busted or blacklisted for, being, a smoker or whatever. So that's always been my biggest gripe. So I'll feel a lot better once it becomes federally legal. So at that point I'll do it. But yeah, I'll live up to my word. I'll smoke. Kind of curious about it now, man. I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger every day. So it's kind of interesting. So, like I said before, the current state of medical/recreational laws, as of yesterday, California passed recreational, Nevada passed recreational. So did Maine still counting? It's kind of weird. It's a 50-50 split, actually, on votes, with 98% voting in. Actually, they actually jumped the gun yesterday and say it did pass. But now if you look on today, it's still 50-50, so we're still kind of unsure. Massachusetts passed. And the only one for recreational that didn't pass is Arizona. It actually got shot down. Yeah. So,
but they do have medicinal.
They do have medicinal.
And I think it got shot down because they didn't agree with the legislation, how it was written.
Yeah, I mean,
that's one thing to keep in mind, too.
Yeah, which should have happened in California.
I think.
Florida got medical.
Yeah, so let me pull it up real quick. But yeah, that's what I was hearing a lot yesterday. A lot of actually stoners were complaining about it passing, which is kind of interesting to people that don't smoke and don't understand I guess the culture or the reason why people don't smoke is a lot of it comes from legislature. So so the people that were voting for medicinal was Montana, North Dakota,
big pass, North Dakota,
yeah, and Arkansas and Florida.
I have no Arkansas. I think they passed the first measure, right?
Yeah, I think so too. So it's definitely a movement in the right direction. It's going to come to a point where, basically what I've seen is the steps are you become medical marijuana becomes legal. And then after that, you go to recreational, which is what happened,
which I think
California.
is the right way to go.
which is it's
Just
a
from
way
my
kind
experience.
of eases into it. It's not just
Yeah.
like one day another, boom, there it goes. So I feel like that's the movement right now. Slowly but surely, one by one, all these states are kind of converting to um, recreational marijuana
Or just decriminalization.
or
of it.
yeah, exactly, on a state level.
Yeah.
So
But enough states are gonna, eventually move that way, and then the government's gonna have to do something.
exactly. And I was actually watching interview between Obama and Bill Maher, and that's basically what he said. Because as everyone knows, or if you don't know, Bill Maher is pretty big pro marijuana, and he basically came out and said, what do you think? What's going to happen with medical marijuana or recreational? And Obama said how it's kind of moving right now, where slowly but surely, a lot of the states in the union are slowly going to recreational. They're going to have to do something one day. When 2/3 of the country support it, you have to do something. It can't be, crisscross between state laws, federal, government, trying to restrict people from doing stuff that's actually legal in their state. So it's going to have to come to a point where it actually has to be uniform across the board. So that's kind of where we're headed. The movement as far as like states becoming medical marijuana user states or recreational is what happens when one of these states don't pass it. So in this case, Nevada didn't pass it, but what if California had said no?
Arizona didn't pass it.
Yes, that's what I mean. Arizona didn't pass it.
Right.
California said yes, but what if California had said no? How big of an impact would that have been on the movement itself? Seeing as California, is the 7th largest economy in the world.
And pretty much the mecca of all marijuana. I mean, if you want good marijuana in the United States, everybody knows the West Coast.
Yeah, they actually went to vote for recreational even before Washington and Oregon, right?
Yeah.
That was before them, and they got shot down.
Yeah, it got
Shut down.
So, I mean, now that it actually passed in like one of the biggest states where it's at, I think it's a huge boost.
It's a boost for sure, I think, in the right direction. Like I said, it's kind of, people are saying it's like the domino effect. They said once California goes, the rest of the country will too.
Yeah, like,
And there's already other states. I think there was like 11 outside of who was voting. I think there was 11 states that already had legislation in the works for the next
election cycle
to go through. And I know one of them was Illinois, Indiana. I can't remember like the rest, but so there's already movement. It's just like a process. Every 4 years, these states come up, and if they can get it right, if they can get it written right in that time. And if it's marketed that way and people know the ins and outs of it, that's the important part. And then they move forward, either through medical or they just straight up recreational.
With, something important that you just said, written right. So with Prop 64 passing, do you think it was written right?
I've read excerpts. It's very hard to read it because it's written by lawyers for lawyers. So in my opinion, it was a lot of big words and kind of words I just felt kind of stupid. I was like, what does this mean? But overall, the gist of it, what I got was their whole purpose was to tax and regulate. That's basically the meat, the meat and potatoes of it. And then the rest was kind of written left. It's kind of like up to interpretation. It kind of seems like down the line, they're moving towards removing the Compassionate Care Act 215. Which we fall under.
Yeah.
It seems like down the line that's eventually just going to be gone.
And
people are saying, no, it's not. You're protected. But there's nothing that says 64 will protect the current rights and not change their rights at all. It's not written that way. So that's why you kind of feel like, for me, I kind of felt you go back to money. Why would they tax recreational users? I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. Why would they tax recreational users and not medicinal users?
Correct.
Doesn't make sense because they just want money. Because then you have the guys that have no recommendations are going to say, oh, I'm just going to go get Rex now. So I don't have to pay the 15% excise tax plus another 8% state tax plus whatever the county and cities want to throw on it. It could be up to 30%.
But at the end of the day, it's medication. It's not just weed. You know what I mean? So it's like you go into the doctor and then giving you a prescription. Do you pay for that Xanax? Do they give you? Do you pay tax on it?
No, I mean, I think you just pay a
I don't think it
copay,
should change
or maybe
for
the
medical.
or maybe the insurance company
Right.
pays it, but I'm not sure. But I mean, if it becomes truly medical, as that I was telling, I think one of the other guys is it going to be like legit medical, or is it like anyone that has like my toe hurts can
Right.
get a wreck now? I think it's going to go back to like extreme cases of kids that have seizures and they require.
And that's
like,
kind of how
Yeah.
it was written, because you see them saying that they're limiting the amount of recommendations doctors can give, and they're taxing it. So that's why I was kind of feeling like they're gonna make it harder for you, because they're gonna want your primary care physician's recommendation as well. So you're gonna have to have someone like a second opinion, basically, to really get a rec. And even if you can, the state might have already issued too many enough recs, and now you can't.
Need to be a
for
waiting
that
list
year.
or something. Yeah.
So it could be a waiting list, and then so that's why I was thinking, man, it looks like they're just eventually gonna get like rid of the 215,
To make
so
everyone
they
pay.
can just make everybody pay a tax.
Well, I think they're not going to get rid of it in the sense of completely
Not
deleting it,
yet.
but they're gonna
Not yet.
force people out of it.
That's what I mean. You're right.
Yeah,
They're
so
gonna
they're
make it so not that any person
Yeah.
can walk in there. And
exactly.
come out.
They're gonna get rid of the this phase where people's recs are active, and then once they have to renew them, then that's when they're gonna be really strict.
That's the other thing too. Renewing
Mhm.
is gonna be just as hard.
Yeah.
So
Which I think is good though. If you actually have a condition, you should
True.
get it. I don't believe.
Yeah, which I see.
someone just abusing it just because.
true.
Yeah,
If it helps you in any way.
but I feel like people that fall in that 215 now that are just kind of using it as a recreational
Yeah.
use and not actual medical, they're gonna feel that burn once.
And is that a
It's-
good thing, or is that, who knows?
Yeah,
Should it really only be for true patients?
I think it should, since it's recreational now. I think everyone falls under recreational. You're no longer doing it for medical reasons that you FaceTime a doctor to get a rec. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those those days of FaceTiming doctors and like I can't sleep at night. Oh, here's marijuana. Oh, I don't eat a lot. Here's marijuana. Or like, oh, my fucking back hurts. Here's marijuana. I think those days are gonna be gone. Where it's either super hard prescription drugs or cannabis, and most people would rather go for like the more natural version of it. So I think it's gonna be more reserved for those kind of people.
Especially if you have background on things that are in medical
Yeah.
history, what
True.
you've taken or what
True.
if you actually having like me, I have a bone condition.
Mm-hmm.
I can get it for that. I have a tumor on my left shoulder. I can get it for that.
Well, there you go. See that?
But not the daily, everyday guy is gonna be able.
Right.
Like now.
But then it kind of goes back to, well, you have the right to do it anyway,
right to the what?
versus use cannabis however you
Yeah,
please.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is why they're not going
Which
to
is
kill that
why-
many people
yeah,
away,
which is
'cause
why
they're
they're
not
not
gonna
killing
offer it.
But then if
Exactly.
you compare it to Tylenol or Advil or there's other things anybody can go in and buy at any time, which has similar effects to other painkillers that
Mhm.
are prescribed, they might be at higher dosages, but you might
Correct.
not always use Tylenol. Just here and there you have a headache. Or
Mhm.
here and there you might have a headache and want to smoke a little cannabis.
Mhm.
Or you've got fucked up at work, your back or whatever, you
Mhm.
want to use some. Instead of going towards like the pill form medication,
Yeah.
now people can have that option.
No,
as
yeah,
well,
I
so-
understand. It's kind of like headache, Advil. Oh, I got my wisdom teeth pulled out. They give you Vicodin.
Vicodin.
You know what I mean? It's a little, way stronger, obviously. So, yeah, I feel like it's going to be similar to that. Maybe for medical users, it's going to have like a prescription refill quantity, maybe.
It is.
You show up once a month, they refill whatever your prescription is, and then if you smoke it all in 1 week, then tough shit. You got to wait until next month.
Unless,
and that's-
you want to pay tax.
Well,
Unless
that's the
you
other
want to
thing,
pay tax.
right?
There you
That's the
go.
other thing that people don't know is for the true, like you have cancer or
Mhm.
whatever. The regulation is where people are the true patients, and I'm not trying to like put other people out that aren't, but they're gonna feel it the worst because in the state of Washington, when I went to get an edible, and they were 10 milligrams.
Mhm.
That's their cap.
Yeah.
As you guys know, that's not going to do anything to you
Yeah.
at
didn't-
all. 10 milligrams of anything, you just
It's a
laugh.
gummy bear.
You're probably not even going to eat it if it's 10 milligrams. It's kind of a waste.
Not even worth it.
We
So,
we actually reviewed a cookie or a brownie that had
Cookie.
150.
150.
And
Right.
how long did that put you on your ass for?
A good while, man.
Like 6
like
hours?
6 to 8 hours, yeah,
You
right?
know what I mean? Like,
So 10 milligrams, it won't even phase you. It's like maybe taking a whiff of some vodka.
yeah.
That's it. But going back to regulation of it, all right, you come in. Your cap for this month is 200 milligrams of edibles. And say you don't smoke flower. You're an older person, because a lot of older don't like to consume it that way. They either eat it
Mhm.
or they use topical creams or whatever.
Correct.
So say you're an older person and now your cap is 200 and you're, well, I use like 75 a day. Well, tough luck.
Yeah.
Not only is it that's your cap, but we're monitoring every time you purchase this.
So pretty much, are all the clinics gonna like link together? So everyone's gonna know like if you buy it from one clinic and you try to go to a different clinic.
That's what they're
there's
really
gonna
trying
be,
to do
like,
is limit the dosage of.
That's what they've
marijuana
done.
that you
That's
get.
what
Right.
they did in like Washington. That's what he was saying.
And you can look it up. I forget
in
what it's called, but
Washington.
it's a Federal Bureau of Marijuana, something. They're the ones in charge of regulating. So yes, there's going to be a database. Our names will be in it. They'll see everything that we've bought, the amount, everything. And then is that infringing on our privacy?
Yeah, because which is crazy when you go in there and buy or alcohol, they don't count how many cases you bought.
That's
Right?
true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
So that's why another problem with 64 that I had.
Which obviously to the I think more people that don't smoke weed actually voted yes for it. They're kind of just over the fact that it keeps coming up and maybe just want to pass it just to get more of that. Basically what everyone talks about is you pass medical marijuana or you pass recreational
You're
marijuana,
gonna get $1 billion a year.
and then you're gonna get $1 billion a year in revenue from taxes and whatever. That's what people care about. They're all worried about the economy. So to them, they're like, "Fuck it, I don't smoke it, therefore I don't care. If it passes, cool." So they'll vote yes. And now it passed, but all the stoners are like, "No," they're kind of trying to hold on to like the older way of buying marijuana
Because it works
Yeah.
for the current.
It works, yeah, because it's less regulations. It's just you get this rec, whichever way you can, FaceTiming doctors or whatever. You show up, I don't know, do you buy as much as you want and you call it good?
There's
Or they
current
limit you?
limits on 215, but
Mhm.
But the limits
But the
aren't-
limits
aren't.
are not
Yeah.
even close to what it's going to be now with 1 ounce, I
Mhm.
believe, right?
Well,
No,
right now you
that's
can
it.
have an ounce on you, yeah.
And now it's 1.8.
And then like 8 grams, I think, of concentrates you can have up.
Yeah,
With
eight.
64.
Oh, they're letting you
Yeah.
have concentrates.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I think
But so,
it is 8.
yeah, so one thing I found interesting was Massachusetts lets you have 10 ounces
Mhm.
stored away, and you can keep one on your person.
And you're able to grow 4.
How would they know how much you're
Six.
storing?
Here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How much do they know?
How would they know you're storing anything unless you're like they break down your house because you're
They
I guess
But I
it-
heard, with that,
Yeah.
they legally can go in there and
Mhm.
check if they see that you
Really?
are a marijuana grower. They can.
Oh yeah, they can.
They can
And that's
go
the
in
problem
there.
with
They can
64. It
regulate,
doesn't
man. Just go
protect
in
you
there.
against cops. Just,
So, example, if I'm on my porch or my little backyard area and I'm smoking a joint and a cop sees me, he can come in my house and like
No.
fucking check my shit or what?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, I was like, what? That's kind of
Yeah.
fucked up.
well, I don't know. You're on your private property, so
Yeah.
no,
Mhm.
they would need like a search
Yeah,
warrant.
you're gonna need a warrant to go inside.
A warrant.
Unless you
They would need
allow them inside.
proof to believe that you are growing more than the amount that
Mhm.
you're allowed to.
Yeah.
The 6 plants.
But
Yeah.
say they did come in and they found faulty wiring, anything you set up could be not the building code, or it cannot be up to the code 64 says, which is pretty vague if you read it.
Mhm.
It doesn't describe what.
Yeah.
It says like a structure or something. But cities and counties define structures different. Is it 4 walls with a roof and a door that can
Mhm.
lock? Is it a greenhouse? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So say they find that, and then they can find fault with you, and then you can be charged. Or say they come in and you have little kids running around.
Yeah.
I was actually reading up on that. Yeah, when you have it, it has to be discreet and locked. That was one of the laws
Okay.
that they had on it. If you're growing, it has to be like discreet. You can't have it out there. Like
It
people
can't be
can
in a
see
public
it.
sign.
Yeah,
Mm.
public can't see it, and it's got to be locked.
Gotcha.
Which I'm sure that's what. Like,
Okay, yeah.
So
when
you have to
love
have it
that.
some kind of shed somewhere and
Yeah,
locked up.
So you can't just
Yeah.
have it in your
Well,
backyard growing?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be like.
But I've also heard that sheds don't work. Because I heard it has to be an attached part of your home.
So no more outdoor.
Oh.
That's where, but people are, well, that's not true, because it doesn't define it. That's what I
Yeah.
mean, is like,
But I mean, you know how vague it is now as far as like, cops don't really care anymore. They're
Which
kinda-
is that's the thing that I'm stoked about.
Mhm.
Is that now that it's legal for recreational,
Mhm.
it's not going to be frowned upon compared to how it was. Even with you being a card holder, they're still gonna.
I mean, I'm pretty sure if you go outside right now, because it's technically legal right now, you can have an ounce up to you like right now.
Yeah.
As far as going to
So-
buy rec, I
That's-
can't.
so
Can't go right now.
So the fact of it being 2018 is, what is that? So I can go.
The
weed's
2008
legal as of yesterday
I can literally have an ounce on me and a cop can search me and he can't ask for my rec
without
anymore.
you having a card.
Without me having a card.
So if you're smoking,
So
it's
what's
no
the
longer
difference between
today.
it being 2018 then?
No, the 2018 comes up as
with the shops.
shops can't sell it to me
Yeah.
yet. I need a
They
rec
have
still.
until January 1st, 2018 to apply for licenses, but
Yes.
they're going to start during the summer
Yeah, well,
of 2017.
Yeah, and you can have the bud on you if like someone else gave it to you. Like if I
But
gave
you
it to you,
can't
then you
go
won't get.
to-
Yeah, but you can't
Right.
go.
Without
You can't
a
go to a
car-
clinic
okay.
if you don't
Yeah.
have a rec.
Right.
Yeah.
But if let's say
Oh, okay,
I
see,
have
I
my
thought
rec
it
and
would-
I give you it, you're not gonna get in trouble for it.
Well,
So-
say I gave it to Ref because he doesn't have a rec.
Yeah.
He won't be busted.
No, he won't be
As of
busted
today.
because
So-
he didn't buy
as
it.
of
and
today.
someone gave it to him
as
for free.
as of today,
He's able to do
if
that.
we walk outside right now and a cop stops all of us and you guys handed me an ounce,
Nothing can happen.
nothing can happen to me.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
legally
beautiful.
allowed to
Oh,
carry.
That's
see, I,
beautiful.
thought that was on 2018.
No. What the 2018 says is they can start applying on 2017.
They have up until the 1st to
Mm.
Start
issuing-
applying
right.
for clinics to start applying
Open,
for a
yeah.
license to sell recreational marijuana.
Yeah.
So they start
okay.
applying for that, and then they have until 2018 where they have to be up to code to what the regulations are. That's what we're saying. So 2018 is the cutoff. Let's say a clinic is like lagging it really hard, and it's 2018, then they'll get closed down probably because they're not up to
Right.
code.
So is it still up to the counties to allow these shops to be there?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
that was my next thing.
Yeah.
See, because I'm wondering if I'm able to go down the street or if I still have to drive 30 minutes to the shop
It depends
Well,
on.
that's
to
the
be
thing.
able to get it, or the medical dispensary.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like a couple years ago, we had recs. Not recs, like clinics.
Lake Forest,
Like
Yeah.
down the street,
10, 15 minutes away
Mhm.
driving, and they all got kind of
pushed away.
They slowly got pushed further and
And
further
further.
and further, and now they're.
So maybe
Bro.
Laura can shed some light working with the city of Lake Forest.
Oh,
she might
whoa.
have
Special guest, guys.
Special guest.
So-
Fucking government official.
So this happened the other day actually. For the city of Lake Forest, they actually do not require like very much to run a business in the city. All you need to do is register your business with the city. You fill out one form and that's it. Depending on what I guess your business is, I had a lady come in and she was running a daycare center from her home. She needed to fill out 2 forms and that was it. She was a valid business in Lake Forest.
Oh wow.
So under the city, I guess it really just comes down to the mayor
Mhm.
if they want to allow that in the city. But knowing how much it could bring in, they might allow it, but it's still up to the discretion of the mayor.
There's no building codes
Oh,
or anything that people are gonna have to pass.
Not really. She needed to be verified by the state health department,
Okay.
and that was it.
So as far as building codes, but I mean, can they just say no? Can they just decline your application? Let's say me, RB goes to fucking, who wants to start my own clinic,
Mhm.
let's say, and I'm legally allowed to sell whatever. Can they just deny me opening a clinic or something?
There was no mention of like accepting, denying. It was just a matter of you registering your business with the city.
So I guess it's a matter of if Lake Forest or Mission Viejo or Irvine or whatever city wants to approve it or not.
Mhm.
Well,
Okay.
to add to what RB was saying, 64 is going to require you to be a certain amount of feet away from a public school.
Oh, of course.
Okay.
But I think if you're in compliance with the guidelines 64
Mhm.
has, going back to her point, I think
Mhm.
you can just. But who knows if Lake Forest is going to want.
I mean, right now, currently you have to drive all the way to Santa Ana in order
Santa Ana or Costa Mesa.
to buy
What's
You know,
what's the
medical
first,
marijuana.
What's the first clinic up to 5? Like the first one.
4th Street, I believe, or not even.
So if you go
If
up
you
to
take
5,
if you take the 405,
405, it'll be
you can
dire, right?
go you just take the 55, get off right off Dyer, and
But that's
they're-
what? That's Santa Ana or Costa Mesa?
That's
Santa
Santa
Ana.
Ana.
Reserved.
Yeah.
yeah,
Santa Ana.
Santa Ana.
So the
Those are pretty
yeah,
much the closest ones,
which is
around
like
here.
14, 15 miles, I think. I don't know. From
So
here.
hopefully, we probably won't see them popping up until
2018.
You're not, because the people that are gonna get licenses first are the places that are already open.
yeah,
They're
they're,
gonna get first dibs, basically, so to speak.
yeah.
So to see new shops pop up, it's gonna probably be like mid to late 2018, if anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
But I wonder how it works for delivery service, though.
But I mean, if they do pop up,
I
I'm
mean,
sure it's gonna be like branched off of that, and maybe that they'll send a shop down here or something like that.
like let's say the reserve, for
Reserve,
example,
yeah.
it'll be the reserve San Diego. Let's pretend.
Yeah, let's say
they'll have
like
a-
They'll
that,
just
and
branch
then
off of
they'll
Purple
branch
Reserve.
off of that.
Yeah.
Since they already have first dibs on that, might as well take advantage of it,
yeah.
if it's allowed.
So under Chapter 9 of Prop 64, it actually covers delivery, but it's not very specific. So Mostly it just says a local jurisdiction shall not prevent delivery of marijuana or marijuana products on public roads by a licensee acting in compliance with this division and local law. So it's still just up to the
So basically,
city,
yeah,
It's gonna remain the same.
anyone can just. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like the laws are going to be pretty, chillax compared to what everyone thinks is going to be. I think there might be like a regulation as far as quantity. Or,
Right, because they literally have to track it from seed to sale.
Mhm.
That's what
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
every plant.
I guess now you can grow your own, so without having a rec. So, I mean,
Right, and that's for private use.
yeah,
So I mean,
Right.
if you were trying to sell it,
You would have to apply.
you would get busted.
Right.
pretty hard.
Because you would have to apply for.
Distribution,
Right,
Yeah.
because then you
Yeah.
wouldn't be in
But
compliance.
you can donate it.
Yeah.
Technically.
You can.
What?
Like if I didn't,
How does that make
like if I didn't
sense?
have any,
You can't sell it,
You-
but you can donate it.
you give me some
I can
without me
literally
giving
be
you.
like,
Here you go.
this is
Don't
for
pay
you.
me. Yeah.
like, oh, here, no, it's for you.
Right? Yeah.
It's for you.
But I mean,
if
if-
I give it to you for free, like it's.
I mean, if you want to toss some money in the tip jar for being a good friend, I mean, I guess.
Well, that's how DC is right now.
Yeah.
So so say like I forget what it is, up to a couple ounces, or I think it's like you can carry 2 ounces in DC. So say I have a bunch of marijuana, and I say, "Would you like some weed?" Well, here's 2 ounces. Would you like some? Here's 2 for you. I can't. You know what I mean? Now you can give your 2 to him. Now he can have 4. But I can't give you straight up 4
Yeah.
because now you're past the limit.
Yeah, and
But
he
if I
can't.
give it to her, she can then give it to you.
But how would they even know that though?
So
They don't.
they don't.
Exactly,
They
so-
don't because you can't sell marijuana in DC right now. That's
Yeah.
why they say, "Would you like some weed?" Or no, they don't say that. They'll say, "Would you like this shirt? It's $40 shirt. Inside will be like whatever a thumb
Your
sack
eight.
or an 8." Yeah,
Which is
Like
like,
what you purchased was a shirt.
yeah,
and it's because the way the laws are written, they stopped. They basically like stopped. They had like a recess. Whoever was voting on this, and they never finished what was going on in DC. So it never was complete. It
just
was
kinda-
half-assed.
Yeah.
It's past half-ass. But you can sell seeds.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
well, there you go. As far as
Giveaway seeds. I believe it's giveaway seeds.
Hmm.
But you know it is. It's giveaway seeds, but they sell the equipment to it's trust me. And so what they'll do is, so say you have a shop in DC. You're just giving out seeds. This is what they do. They give out seeds to the people.
Mhm.
Oh, you know how to grow that? No, I don't. Well, great. We have this guy. He's gonna come out to your place. He's gonna set up your grow tent. He's gonna show you what to do. But now you're paying for that service fee.
Mm-hmm. So it's like he would have sold you the seeds anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a loophole.
It's kind of like, let's say
Yeah.
Best Buy donates a TV to you, but they have to install it in your house. So that's where the price of the TV
You have to
comes
pay.
from.
Yeah,
Right?
You don't want those
Installation
cables
and
hidden?
all
No, it's gonna be another $200. Yeah.
Oh, you wanted the HDMI cord? Oh shit.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
extra
right?
charge, extra donation,
Extra
actually.
donation. Some places were still donation like that. Like South Coast Caregivers was like that on 17th Street. They
Mhm.
wouldn't take my money. I
Yeah.
literally had to drop it in a tip jar, and then from the tip jar they would take it.
Wow. Yeah, see, I didn't know that they call it donations. Like I said,
Yeah.
I've never been in a clinic.
They'll never tell
They'll
you your
never-
total is.
Yeah.
No, they'll be like, your donation is.
Yes, that's
They
interesting.
always go off donation.
Yeah, so I guess now that's
Well,
going to
when-
change.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like the normal rules, I guess smoking wherever you want, I guess, as long as it's not probably near school or.
Well, no, you're
still
not.
can't.
It's like
You still-
alcohol.
you
You're
can't.
only able to be
Yeah.
indoors.
Oh, you can't even smoke outside?
You can
Uh-uh.
smoke in private property, so you can smoke in your patio, and if the
Right.
cops get called, they can't do anything.
Well,
Yeah.
what about the neighborhood right here? Technically, it's private property, right?
Where?
Right here, just neighborhood.
Our neighborhood.
Well, as long as you go,
Technically, at that point, it would be wherever you're able to smoke, since it's private
yeah,
property.
since it's private property.
So it'd be like your designated smoking area.
Yeah.
Right, which is in front of my house, like in the entrance.
Oh, that's a designated smoking area?
Supposedly.
Oh,
Where
it's
the
not,
red
it's not
rocks
over
are.
here by the
No.
mailbox anymore?
Not anymore.
Mm. Is it drawn there? Like, does it say smoking in section?
No.
No.
So it's just kind of like vaguely wherever they decide to
Yeah.
put you guys to smoke.
That's what I was told.
Pero a mí me vale, güey.
Yeah, but technically,
I'm going where I'm
you're
going,
smoking yeah, if you're on private property.
It doesn't really matter.
Right.
Gotcha.
But does that mean now that, are we going to see cops really lay off? I mean, they're going to have to, right? Or my whole thing is they're losing money, though.
Who?
Law enforcement and the private jail systems. Because
Mhm.
if they're decriminalizing all those people or they decriminalize marijuana, right?
Correct.
Marijuana crimes.
Mhm.
And the people that are currently incarcerated for those crimes are going to get their sentence possibly reduced
Hmm.
or put on parole. Well, now they're losing tons of money because that's the number one thing that puts people in jail is marijuana crimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like it's so overpopulated. At the same time, they're trying to get rid of everyone. So that's why they're doing that as well. They're trying to like
Yeah.
True,
Which
but
is
then
good.
but then
Non-violent.
Right.
Yeah, non-violent.
It's
Yeah.
all non-violent,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
True, but then the state, they get money for every head that's in prison.
Which is why it's
Which
so
is why they
overpopulated because they keep taking it in because like more money for us.
Right,
Yeah,
but
we'll
then that's
take
what I'm
them.
saying,
We'll
they're
take
going to
them.
lose the
Which
money.
is where they're going to make it in taxes.
I guess that's...
I mean, that could be the offset. Yeah.
That could be the offset.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't think about an offset.
Yeah. So basically, what they would have made with people being in jail,
You're going to make that take it out of that building.
they're taking it out of the
True, but
medical
now
cell.
it's not going to law enforcement anymore. Or I think, does 64 say where majority of
I
their...
think it said law.
A lot of it, I believe, is to law enforcement and after-school programs and rehabilitation programs for alcohol and drug abuse.
Okay.
So I think maybe that's why a lot of people voted for it too.
Well, I mean, a lot of people I think are just kind of like.
A lot of people didn't really
Over.
read it. They just kind of. Like,
I mean, if you read what it
like,
says on the ballot,
the big people that like knew about it and were trying to push for
yeah.
it.
I mean, if you're educated stoner, let's say, someone that actually is up to date on legislation and stuff like that, then to you, you knew what was going on. As far as like a regular guy like me, I read the prop. It said, legalizing marijuana for over 21-year-old, adults, basically is what it says.
Yes, no.
Could create a possibility of over $1 billion in revenue. Like, it's just all this. It's just saying good shit about it.
But it doesn't have the background.
The
It
background,
doesn't-
everything that's-
Yeah, if you look at the actual the prop is like maybe 2-3 sentences, but the fucking actual
I
prop
actually have
itself
it,
is like
yeah.
10 pages, dude.
It's,
And it's
actually
like
it's
took a-
about 30 pages.
and it's like 30 pages, like double columned,
Yep.
like segments of
Yeah, she's
You know,
looking at it right now.
I have it right. I have it right here because I took
Mhm.
a picture of
Yeah.
it. This is what it told everybody at the voting booth. It says 64 marijuana legalization initiative statute legalizes marijuana under the state law for use of adults 21 or older, imposes state taxes on sales and cultivation, provides for industry licensing and establishes standards for marijuana products, allows local regulation and taxation. Fiscal impact: additional tax revenues ranging from high hundreds of millions of dollars to over 1 billion annually, mostly dedicated to specific purposes. So, kind of those purposes she just touched on.
Mhm.
Reduces criminal justice costs of tens of millions of dollars annually. Yes or no?
Yeah.
That was it.
So it's short. All you hear is like more money, only for adults.
And they have to do that. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
put the whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it makes sense, but I mean, I don't watch a lot of TV. I don't know if you guys watch a lot of TV. I didn't see a single marijuana ad. All I got was
I
like
didn't see one.
I actually got pamphlets in my house against it. It was like
Pharmaceutical.
don't smoke the devil's cabbage, and your kids are gonna
Was
pick
it
up
the kids
edibles.
one? I
Yeah,
saw the kids that took a picture and laughed at it.
yeah.
I
I
never
actually
saw
have
it.
it somewhere over here. It's like your kids are gonna pick up
I have it
edibles. Your kids are gonna become addicts.
So what,
it's just-
what do you guys feel
it-
about that? Though?
over the top.
About the whole thing of them saying, and get your opinions on it. What do you feel about when they say, well, now kids are going to start using it?
I mean, for me, I think weed's been around for a long time, even when I was in school, in high school, whatever. But I mean, I think they did a pretty good job of telling you, don't smoke. Yeah, that's exactly
There's
the
like a
one.
picture of it.
Yeah. I got that one.
Save our children. They anytime
Save
you
our
anytime
children.
you guys see anything that says children first, it's the last cry that they have. They use children for everything.
Yeah. I mean, I think kids, you really can't do much. Once they're in high school, they're going to do whatever they want. If they want to smoke cigarettes, they're going to smoke cigarettes. If they're going to smoke weed, they're going to smoke weed. If they're going to drink, they're going to drink. I mean, I think I think we're at a point where the parents have to stop blaming, what's out there and kind of blame themselves for not teaching their kids
Yeah, not be.
not to
Amen.
do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like my parents, they're like, drinking is this, smoking is this, don't do it. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I don't care. Like, it's up to me. If I really wanted to, I'd go outside and fucking get weed. And that was like, 10 years ago. So I could have done that then. Like, I just didn't, just because to me, it wasn't really my thing then. So it's up to how your parents kind of put
And I
it.
think that's how I was too. Like a long time didn't really appeal to me,
Mhm.
and then my 21st birthday, fucking Danny on the
And then
balcony.
you had your first
No.
bowl.
and then after that, it was goodbye.
You smoked the devil's cabbage and you've been hooked
He
since
told me
then.
this is presidential, and I said that sounds good.
Yeah.
Hawaiian rolls later.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
like, I think everyone's just a little bit different. I mean, I didn't drink until I was basically 21. And now I drink occasionally. It's not a big deal.
I
It's
drank way before that.
Huh?
I said drank way before that.
yeah. I had my first, I had beers once in a while. Like my dad would let me have one.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a big deal. I didn't get smashed or anything. But I mean, even now, like I just drank one beer right now. I didn't even finish it, and I'm just like chilling. Like I'm not an alcoholic. You know what I mean? Like it just kind of depends how you're raised. You know, it's about time to just stop blaming your society or all this stuff being legal. Like even if cocaine was legal, like I wouldn't be fucking snorting cocaine. Like it just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the other countries, dude. Fucking at 18, 16, you're able to drink, and and because they teach them to be responsible with it. Like go to the pub, have a drink with your meal, and then you go home. Do you know? Like over here, they don't teach you to do that. It's like no, don't do that. So the more they tell you don't do it, the more you're gonna, well, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yes,
I'm gonna get smashed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get smashed.
That's
You
what it
know,
is.
because they told me not to. Well, I'm gonna go out and
Right.
fucking.
And I think
drink
it's so
twice as much.
glamorized here too. I mean, every commercial is a beer commercial.
Yeah.
Or anytime you go into a supermarket, every end cap is a fucking mountain of liquor, Captain Morgan's or something, and it's just
It's always like a design to catch the it's like to catch the
catch
attention
your
of little
eye, yeah.
kids or something. Like, dude, look at that like huge football player, and it's like all cans or something like that, like Coors Light.
like
Bud
the
Light,
official beer of
yeah.
NFL. Oh,
Yeah.
NFL! I'm an NFL fan. I gotta have the official beer. I like the
Yeah. Oh, I
Raiders.
play
I gotta
football,
have the
you know?
Raiders beer. You know what I mean?
Slowly,
Like,
slowly and surely, it's gonna happen with marijuana.
And it's like, yeah, dude.
hopefully,
It
I
will.
hope
Yeah.
so. I hope so.
It's
One
gonna
day,
be
I
everywhere.
really hope so because
Just like
I don't drink alcohol. I don't like what it really. I'm not really against it, but I just don't like what it does to me. I just don't physically. I just don't like how I feel. But that's just me. So I think hopefully that would be a good thing.
I don't know. I feel like marijuana has too much of a history of like this taboo of like.
because it replaces so many pharmaceuticals, so many prescription pills.
Yeah, but people don't know that.
Right.
They all
Which
they
is,
see is
all they
like
see is the bad stuff.
yeah.
From
But
Monday.
the thing is, that's what I'm most excited about. To be honest, is moving forward is legalizing it, not just because everyone wants to smoke weed and everyone's cool and everything and stuff. For me, it's more we're gonna get to a point where we can actually start doing studies on this and move forward with actual medicine. And it's not just, oh, I have this, here's a pill. Oh, I have that, here's a pill. I want to see the future of medicine going in the right direction as far as prescribing, doesn't even have to be marijuana. Maybe it could be something else. Let's say cocaine, for example. Let's say
You keep going back to the cocaine, right? You trying to tell us
I don't know, man. Maybe I'm still like super into it.
Crack
But like,
Right.
let's say like they do studies on it and they find out that it cures cancer. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who fucking would have known? You know. So
what I was thinking about the other night is why the taboo, right? You just brought it up.
Mhm.
And I think it's a taboo because obviously the reefer madness will happen like early in this country and people just putting a bad label on it. But then if you think about it, it's not pretty. I mean, we think it's pretty because we can appreciate the buds and we can think like, wow, someone who grew this knew what they were doing. But it's not pretty.
Mhm.
Smoking is just not. Taking a little pill that's nice and clean and discreet, doesn't smell, blah, 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 that's acceptable. It looks visually, it's okay.
Mhm.
Visually appealing.
Right, it's appealing. But I think if you bring out a smelly sack of weed and then you're breaking it up and now your fingers are all sticky, people get turned off by that.
I mean, I don't even know
I think that's why people think it's bad.
I don't know. I feel it's more of kind of the history of it. Like, your parents thought it was bad. They teach your kids that it's
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, dude. Like my parents think it's like the worst thing in the world. Like,
Yeah.
Like they see me with that shit and like they flip and all that, and it's like they
I-
weren't educated with it. Like for them, it's
Like
like as bad as heroin. It's like, why are you doing that? Like no,
Yeah.
like
actually, for me, like my parents never really told me, weed's bad, weed's this. They just told me don't smoke. I mean, that was just in general, tobacco, weed, whatever. They should just don't smoke. Like my dad, I think tried it once. He didn't like it, and that was not for him. Like, and I know that, and I'm okay. He's okay with telling me that. I still haven't done it. Like, I'm still chilling about it.
Yeah.
So it comes from like carrying it down from generation to generation. Now, this generation, I think it's more acceptable culturally as far as music, TV, in general. So I think moving forward, us millennials that everyone kind of hates for just being millennials is kind of gonna teach our kids, it's not bad, So hopefully in the future, it's gonna lose that kind of like taboo as far as it being
I
like.
think it's already losing it.
Which is good.
Yeah, I mean it's legal, technically recreational, So.
But think about it, if there was so much money, I mean, you see all the time, put money towards this cancer, put money towards that cancer. I've been thinking lately, how would I feel when it's finally okay, when I can finally just take a deep breath and be like, all right, it's okay, is when I start seeing fucking people with green ribbons or something
Mhm.
towards this cancer. Let's donate, do a 5K, Like you see all the time in professional sports, they wear the pink gloves, the pink
Yeah.
socks because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Correct.
What about Cannabis Awareness Month? Are we gonna see that somewhere? Maybe it doesn't have to be called that. Doesn't have to. But are we gonna see the nation kind of get behind it and say, you know, it is a medicine. Let's put research. Let's put money towards it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, go ahead, Martin.
Well, I was gonna say that kind of like takes it back to how we're talking about the beer, how like the NFL like supports it, and then like for Heineken as well, you know, like that the Champion League
UEFA
supports
soccer,
that,
yeah.
you know, so it's one of those like is like what's gonna pick up like marijuana and all that, you know, for them to start supporting it.
Like
and all
who's
that.
gonna pick it
And
up?
Who's
right?
gonna pick it up, you know, so they can.
Hopefully the NFL
I
because
be-
they need it.
I believe the NFL will. A lot of their players are tired of taking prescription pills every day.
Yeah, and that's like what for the Olympics and all that, how they're able to smoke and use it and all that, but you
heard
can't
about
do
that,
it
yeah.
The day of your event.
Mm-hmm.
So like the day of.
Not that it's gonna give you an edge, anyways.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No,
but
but I
like,
know, right?
like what he was saying, over
Unless
here,
you're
like
Michael Phelps and
the
shit.
athletes,
Yeah.
you know, like it helps them with all the
You become a fucking fiend after smoking.
right.
I mean, I don't know about the NFL picking it up right away. I mean, they're always under the microscope for like stupid shit.
Oh, they're the last
Oh,
to
yeah.
do anything. They didn't
Oh,
recognize
man.
concussions and troubles with that for decades.
Yeah.
And they're finally coming around to saying,
I think it's
yeah.
gonna take a while, but it
It
will
will.
one day. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm really looking forward to more of the what's called deschedulizing or reschedulizing.
Criminalizing?
De-
The
Decriminalizing.
rescheduling, even
Well, the substance as far
that's
as
hard because the people that vote on that are the ones who want to keep it there because they keep their jobs.
yeah. I mean, obviously, the reason it's taking this long is because lobbyists. I mean, for sure. I mean, there's all these tobacco companies that it's just more competition.
Tobacco and alcohol.
Pharmaceutical
Alcohol companies.
Pharmaceutical companies are trying to stop it.
How many prescription?
Why
marijuana's gonna replace?
why research medical marijuana to help cure cancer when they're just selling you all these prescription drugs and making a killing off it?
They
dude?
won't make a killing
That's
off
what I
marijuana
mean.
compared to all those pharmaceuticals.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Which
It's
is
not
like,
only the pharmaceuticals, but everything. The it starts from the moment you look at the building. You look at a hospital. Think about all the people, the jobs they're created just making that structure,
Mhm.
right? Then you walk in, and then there's people that work there. Well, they can't work in the medical field giving you the right service unless they went to school. So now the schools are making money
Mhm.
off of sending these people to work. So it starts from the receptionist, like that's where all the money is in all pharmaceuticals. It's everywhere. It's not just the pills. It's not just the companies that make the pills. It's the insurance companies. It's the hospitals,
Mhm.
people that work in the hospitals. All of that, the healthcare, all of that goes behind the pharmaceuticals. Like all of that's just $1 billion industry. That whole thing, it creates so many things branch off from just pharmaceuticals.
Yeah,
And you don't really have that with marijuana.
that's true. I have a buddy that actually works for a pharmaceutical company, and they brought in I think $30 million in revenue last year. Like
Jeez.
$30 million in revenue. Like that's ridiculous. Just money in their pockets, basically what it was. So they do make a killing, and they make a killing by keeping competition out. So if marijuana is competition, then they're gonna keep it out.
They
And
make a killing.
they
on
have.
people.
They
being-
keep it out.
Yeah.
I mean, for them, I mean, it kind of sucks to say they're happy if we're sick for longer.
True.
Right? It's kind of shitty to say, but the longer I have cancer for, and the longer they keep me,
the more money they
fucking
make.
quote unquote
the lo-
alive longer, like that's more prescriptions things they're gonna sell me, and I pay for some of it, but my insurance pays the rest of that. The money's somewhere still.
The longer there's no cure, they're making money.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Are they really researching this stuff? I mean, I don't want to get into
That's
like
why I don't.
conspiracy theories.
No,
and-
that's why I don't. That's why I don't donate towards cancers at all. Because I feel like fuck, you have enough money to figure it out by now. That's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
Or maybe
Like,
you
I don't
already-
even know where the money's going.
Exactly. Even
Yeah.
if the
I don't
money
even
goes
know where it's
to that.
going.
Maybe. Well, I mean, from what I heard, I think was it actual donating for these.
You saw the sad puppy commercial?
No, but I'm talking about like
Sarah McLachlan
10%,
shit.
like 10 or 20% actually goes to like the research, and the rest goes to like maintenance costs and CEO paychecks and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So like I mean, it's shitty to say, but I mean,
You can't trace where that money
you can't
goes.
really trace. I mean, if they had more transparency, that'd be kind of cool. But
Will marijuana change? That's like the whole thing. Will
I think they're just gonna fight it for longer. And if there's enough money behind it, and it's time, and it comes to that time where the country is ready to vote and go forward and make it legal federally, And if there's enough money behind it on the other side, dude, I don't know. It might not pass. And it might go back to where we're at now, where it's not legal federally. So that could be a future too. So, I mean, I'm happy that it's moving in the right direction, but who knows where it's going to go, you know? Like, we're cool now because we live in California, but let's say one day just...
Arizona.
Well, not even that. Let's say one day they're just like, cool, all your state laws, they don't mean anything.
And they can do that.
They can.
And
Right.
probably, I'm not going to say probably, but it is a possibility, especially with the new president.
Yeah. You know, like all those roads and bridges and stuff, all that's, you know, the government funds a lot of those projects. Why do you think we have speed limits? Because the government tells the states this is what the speed limit should be. The states can technically be like, you know what, I want my own speed limits, and it'll be fine. But then they won't get funding from the state, and then it just kind of becomes a do what I say or else you lose money.
And AAA tells you everything.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. One day the government could be like, all right, well, we will stop funding these projects if you keep it legal, and then they'll just kind of go back to what it was.
So like Obama put in an executive order saying that like the government can't use its resources and its agencies to go in and mess with state laws. That's what he put in. But
Correct.
as of January 1st, Trump can say, nope.
That's another thing. Trump won, you know, the election yesterday, so it's kind of, you know, from what I know, it's
still yeah. So
I mean, just
the
the fact that he won, you know, obviously not to get political or anything, but it's, you know, wasn't expected. Whether you support or don't support him, you know, we're kind of in this now together. But on top of that, you know, that wasn't really a part of debate. If you listen to any of the debates, marijuana wasn't on any of that, and
I know he's
rightfully
for
so.
medicinal.
He's for medicinal. So was Hillary, but you know that's just to get votes.
But Hillary
from both
kept
sides.
saying, I don't know, like
Yeah,
Obama was the only. I'll give him props. He's the only one who came out and said, "I inhaled." That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the only. I think the only president that has said that. Pretty sure he is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but with Trump and Hillary, or now Trump, who knows?
Yeah, but what I have been reading, Trump said he's not going to fuck around with state laws, so that kind of leaves recreational marijuana alone. But you know that he's only in there for so long, so maybe the next guy or girl, whatever, what if they're against it? They can easily
that's
go
when
back.
the people need to.
Yeah, I mean,
change
who
it.
knows? You know, we're looking at the map right now. Well, I was looking at the map. You know, we have this map color coded. You know, it's on our website. You know, in the next couple of years, you know, it could look a lot different than it does right now. You know, more importantly, I think it's going to be more medicinal states. I don't think we haven't heard of a single state, you know, having medical and then reverting to not, or having recreational and then reverting to not.
I think
right?
Arkansas went back in
Arkansas?
Montana.
I know there was one that was like they passed it, but it was still
Montana was trying to reinstate their medicinal.
Yeah, it was medicinally legal, but for some reason it was like impossible to get it. So it was kind of like it wasn't. So they went back and I think it passed. So now it's medicinal again. So we haven't gone to that point where it's like they went back on that. You know, I don't know what it's called. Going back on some kind of prop. No, but I mean, as far as where, you know, the momentum is going forward, and California I think was a pretty big step in the right direction. I'm pretty sure, what was it, Arizona didn't pass? I'm pretty sure Arizona will pass next time around. Same thing happened in California. What was that? How was that in 2012?
12?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Was it 2012? Yeah, that it failed.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
didn't pass.
the last one, right?
Yeah.
I actually voted yes on that one, and then yesterday I voted no.
I voted yes.
So-
I voted, yeah, I was the same. I voted yes on the first one, and then I voted no yesterday. So
Yeah, I mean, I didn't vote no because I don't want it to pass. That's not the reason behind it. I voted no because I felt like it wasn't very clear, and it was all worded just to tax and regulate it. And
big business. That's what a lot of
Big
people are
business,
scared
you
of.
know?
Is the big business.
Yeah.
Where's it
Taking
gonna go?
over, yeah.
well, I mean, tobacco companies are going to pick it up, pharmaceutical companies are going to pick it up, and I mean, the days of these little clinics are probably going to be over in the future.
First
it'll
time
be
patient
like-
deals are gonna be gone.
You'll walk in,
Right.
and
They'll be gone,
you'll
yeah.
walk in. It's like Macy's, you know. They got like the jewelry section.
The
It's that,
superstore and shit.
that's the top shelf shit, you know, like in the back. And,
PRs and private reserve.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like that, or like a wine tasting place. You walk in, you know how they have all the barrels and shit.
That would be dope one day.
See
Or-
that they already started like stuff like that, you know, like
That'd be interesting.
yeah.
That would be cool.
I mean, I think the future's still bright. I guess it's too early to call now as far as medical marijuana, right?
That's what I was saying. Like think was it you I was talking about?
No.
Make a business where people go
Like
to
this-
pay to like drink wine and paint.
Mhm.
Someone teaches a class how to paint.
Oh, I've seen that.
Well,
yeah.
you go and you smoke weed and you
Mhm.
paint or whatever. Arts and crafts.
Copies.
Arts and crafts.
Cooking.
Smoke.
Cooking, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Have like a smoking
Yeah,
and have like
that's-
tons of computers, like yogis back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Things like that.
well,
Like,
By the way, that idea copyrighted 2016 Ricardo.
That'd be cool.
Can't infringe on our copyright. If anything, I'll probably cut that.
But
out.
so go.
Save all our money dollars. For
But are
us.
you gonna see that though? So say it's recreational. Who's to say it only has to be clinics that sell weed? I mean, maybe they'll say. Okay, let me say that again. Who's to say that you can't have like another business along with marijuana retail? I don't think it says you can't.
because I saw in
You have to buy.
Colorado they had like a resort, like a vacation resort,
Yeah.
and they have water rafting and everything. And there in that whole resort, you're able to smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like in the cabin, you're able to smoke. So I'm sure it's gonna.
And
You're
they have
gonna be able to
in
grow.
Colorado
on.
and Denver, they have dab bars where they
Yeah.
have coffee and take dabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's gonna be things like
So-
that. That are
Well,
gonna come out.
you're gonna have to have, a license, obviously.
Right.
But it's kind of like if you want to open your own restaurant.
Like a hybrid shop.
Yeah, like Arby's Taco Shop. Let's say I want to open up my own restaurant, right? I can't just fucking start selling tacos out of my Forerunner. You know what I mean? Like,
Lift the back.
You lift the back up and just start selling tacos. You got to have like a license. You got to
Right.
follow health code. It's gonna be the same thing. If you want to like smoke, if you want to
Right.
have coffee and dab.
But that would
Then
be
you have
cool
to
to
have-
see, I think.
Right, which-
Because I think it'll kind of ease the population into it.
Mhm.
Into
it would-
being okay with it.
Into being
and
okay with it.
Yeah.
Seeing it.
I mean, I think they're okay with it now, but
No.
the only
No,
problem.
there's a
no.
lot of people that are not okay.
Really?
Like the older,
Really?
I'm talking about the older crowd,
Yeah.
especially. Like,
I mean, yeah, they're gonna be against it, but I mean,
but I think if they see in public or in establishments where maybe you can drink some wine and have appetizers, and they might sell weed too, they might be a little. Well, we drink wine or something. Let's go check it out. Oh, look, they're smoking. They're not fucking flying off the wall.
I think it's gonna have to be a very specific spot where, that's what it's for. Like, if you go to a cigar lounge,
Right.
people go there to smoke
It's
tobacco.
gonna be something.
You're not gonna be there like, oh, smoke,
Yeah. You're not gonna
I don't
see it
wanna
in
be
retail
here.
stores and you being able
Exactly.
to smoke.
yeah.
Yeah, not selling T-shirts and then
Like,
selling weed.
you can't
No,
go into
no.
Macy's right now.
I mean, something that goes kind of hand in hand with it.
Yeah.
Movies and smoke or something.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, like a
Yeah.
Sinopolis, but instead
Yeah.
of serving you like food that comes late and is cold, they serve you fucking prime bud.
A restaurant would make a killing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taco shop
Appetizers
would
are
make
a
a
couple bowl. Okay, the
Well-
food will come out right now.
Yeah.
Well, then can anyone just grow their own and sell then at that point?
I believe you
no,
need a
not,
license
not
to
in a
be
retail,
sell.
not in a retail setting. No,
What do you mean?
like not in a commercial setting.
So if I own my own clinic, I can't grow and sell it?
Oh no! I thought. Sorry, I thought
Oh,
you
if you
meant
grow a
like.
clinic, yeah.
Yo, yeah, let's say I
Oh,
open,
I'm sorry. I thought
let's
you
say I
meant
open
if
my-
you own a restaurant.
Well,
you
let's say-
screw at your house.
let's say I own my taco shop,
Right.
right?
Arby's tacos.
Arby's
It's pretty
tacos.
much the same thing as like having beer. You can have your restaurant, and if you want beer in it, you're gonna have to be licensed to
Beer
have beer in
license
it.
to
Yeah,
be able
so
to
if
sell
you
alcohol.
want bud in your the cabin or whatever, you
you're gonna
need to
apply
be
for
licensed
license
for that.
to
On
be
top
able
of
to-
license, like to even
sell.
have it at
Yeah.
first. So
Can I grow my own and then sell it along?
Oh, yeah.
If you have that distribution.
Like instead of
Yeah.
cilantro, I
Oh, yeah.
sprinkle fucking
Yeah.
bud on the top of the shit. You know,
Kush tacos.
copyright.
Fish tacos.
Fish tacos. Copyright. Get it Martin style, top burrito, whatever.
Yeah,
Sprinkle some fucking
all right.
God.
bud on top.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely a lot of stuff. It's probably, it's a really exciting time, I guess you can say.
it is.
As far
It's
as-
cool that we get to live through this.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what I'm a little confused about? Like, in LA,
Mhm.
they have a thing called Secret Sesh. What I was somewhat reading on it was like, now I think they're going to have to stop it because it's like inside they had vendors like selling and all that.
Yeah.
Once you got inside, and now I think they're saying like they can't. Like, you can have somewhere where everyone can smoke and all that, but they can't sell you stuff anymore.
Because they're gonna need licenses.
Yeah.
Each one of those vendors. are
Yeah,
gonna
so
need
now
a
they're
license.
gonna have to stop that. Like,
Well,
to get in, you needed your rec, or you
Mhm.
needed to send in the picture and all that, and they have to approve it. And the only way you get in is you have to RSVP. If you don't, as soon as you show up, you're like, you're not on the list, you can't get in. So you have to pay. Once
Mhm.
you're inside, then that's when you're able to buy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
How hard do you think it's gonna get? Like, how hard is it? Do you think it's gonna be to get a license to sell? Like, pretty
Making a
strict.
retail setting.
Can I FaceTime like a lawyer and just get a business? Like, boom.
No,
sell?
I think it's gonna be
no,
pretty
it's
tough.
gonna be
Pretty tough.
You're gonna
How
jump
hard
through
is it
a
for you
lot
to
of
get an
hoops.
alcohol?
It's like, this is exactly like
gonna
how,
be
how
like
we
the
were
same
talking
thing.
about the other day. How like how when alcohol was first like fucking brought out. Not
Decriminalized.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
Like,
Prohibition ended.
Yeah.
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 It's gonna be the same
It's the
exact
exact same thing that's going to happen right now. Like,
So technically, I
they're
can have
gonna
like I can have like a speakeasy for weed though. Like you come knock on my door, I open the little trap and fucking hand you some.
If you have a license, if you have a license for it.
I don't have to have a license for it.
No, if you're not selling it,
Donation.
Yeah.
donation.
See,
Yeah.
that's the black and gray area.
So
Yeah.
can I
See, I
donate?
believe you're able to, as long as you're not selling it to a minor. Anyone that's under the age of 20.
Yeah.
It's like you come into my house and you give me a donation, I give you a beer. As long as you're the age of having a beer.
Bull, that doesn't sound like a fair deal though. Like let's say I grow an RB Special Select, fucking weed. If I donate to you, can I do that? Like, hey, here, take some of this.
You mean in your house?
Yeah. And
I don't know.
sell to a
Like, are you able to
select members list.
No, I don't believe.
I don't
It's like
think
you having
you
a regular
can.
business. Like you can't babysit in here without,
Yeah, but who knows? Or they're gonna
The
pull you
world.
over. What? So when a cop
Well,
pulls
what's
you
to say?
over,
Well, that's like no. Well, you can do that now.
yeah, let's say a
Who
cop
knows?
pulls you over and says,
It's called being a drug dealer.
Right?
He's
Mr.
a plug.
Nice guy.
Fool.
but let's say like, if you get pulled over and the cop checks your pockets and he finds like an ounce, he's not gonna ask you, where'd you buy this? Where's your receipt?
Now, no.
No, I mean,
No,
But
but
before you'd be
but
arrested on the
yesterday,
spot.
yes. He said, "Where's your
Really?
recommendation?
Yeah.
Where's your
oh,
Where's your
you're
ID?"
right. But I'm talking about like a receipt. Like, how did they know that you bought it at a clinic and you didn't just get
They
it? from
give
me?
receipts.
As long as
now.
they don't care where I get it from, as long as I have.
So I'm
Correct.
technically allowed to donate to you, is what you're saying.
But I didn't say it. I did.
I don't want to.
It's not on
I
tape.
can no.
This
I
part's
can,
cut out.
Yeah. I can nor confirm or deny that.
Cannot confirm or deny that.
I'm not a lawyer, so I wouldn't know.
I'm not a lawyer either.
Good
And
questions though.
this is all theoretical. Not gonna happen. Wink, wink. Possibility. We talked about business.
RBOG and shit.
RBOG.
This guy.
You got kind of a house RB Select on the wall. It's gonna be pretty legit. So I guess we're kind of coming down to the end here. Any thoughts? Any final closing thoughts? Final thoughts? What's that bitch name? The one that has that fucking show?
Jerry Springer's final thought.
No, that
Tommy?
Tommy.
Oh, she's the worst.
Who?
She's an idiot.
Tommy Lauren. She's
Tommy
like,
Lawrence, some
Final
blonde chick.
thoughts with Tommy. Oh,
Yeah,
she's
and
the
she gets all
worst.
angry and shit and yells at you on YouTube.
Yeah.
Look her up
Yeah.
on Facebook. She's the worst.
Yeah, she's
I don't
honestly
think I've
And
terrible.
we
ever
have like
heard
a
her.
white.
Pretty kind of sounded like you
If you want to have if you want a headache and feel like kind of shitty, then listen to her
Just
shit.
look her up. Yeah.
Yeah, look her Yeah, final thoughts. I guess.
I'm glad it passed for the reason that it's one step closer to like any prohibition.
Even though you
So,
said no.
Even though I said no.
So it's kind
If
of like
there's any silver lining, it's that we're one step closer, hopefully,
yeah.
towards one day them just saying no longer Schedule 1
Mhm.
because I don't care who you are. If you have any brain cells, you should be able to say marijuana is not the same as methamphetamine and heroin.
in the same category.
In this, because they're
Yeah.
both Schedule 1.
Yeah.
Correct.
Mhm.
So,
So that's good.
you're saying it's like a, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or is it a double-edged sword? You
It
got.
might be like the
It's a double-edged sword.
double-edged
I think.
sword.
Yeah.
You think so? It's like it's
Yeah.
good, but at the same time, you kind of,
Should have waited.
Yeah, they should. Well, like I said, it's all about money. They're like, you want your weed? It's gonna come at a
Something
cost.
with
Yeah. Like I just bought these fucking papers. I bought 3 pre-rolls, cones, and it was like fucking $3. I was upset. I'm not even gonna smoke this shit, dude.
Yeah.
My whole pack of papers with the little crutches are like $3.
Fuck.
Those are like 100 papers.
Really? 100?
So
So
just
these.
because there's cones.
Wow.
Yeah, it might be
These
100.
are you don't have to roll it. You just
And you
Yeah.
just
you
put it
stuff
in.
it.
Yeah,
you just stuff it.
Yeah.
And you twist the end.
We can use those for the hot box. The next
session.
The next session.
Oh, you heard that.
Nah, it's alright. I'll bring the backwoods.
We'll be coming from the suburban or the
We'll be- yeah. Suburban,
inside of
yeah.
the suburban.
Inside the
We'll be
suburban.
off location.
Alright. We'll
bring
record
it
it.
on
Just,
location.
we'll record it for you guys.
This
Just bring
guy.
a change of clothes.
Yeah.
Right. I like
Yeah.
RB.
RB.
But the following.
Cut that out.
Edit that out. Cut that out. It's like the second time.
Edit. No, that's cool. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just call myself RB because that's my nickname. It's always been like that. Anyways. Any other thoughts, Laura?
Did you find anything? I know you were looking on it.
Just the one thing that I saw under delivery is a customer requesting delivery shall maintain a physical or electronic copy of the delivery request and shall make it available upon request by the licensing authority and law enforcement
If
officers.
they were to be pulled over.
So I'm assuming if you do have it on, you have to
Yeah.
have proof that you were the one purchasing it from like a licensed place. That's the only thing that I could find
Interesting.
in regards to proof of purchase.
So it's kind
So,
of
I mean,
vague.
like,
How?
I mean, like, you know, now how you had to send your rec and an ID through a text. Would that work? Like, you got to show. Can you show them that and be like, look, this is the time. This is when I ordered it. Like,
That's what I'm
could
saying.
you?
Like
Would
the,
that be considered a receipt right there?
Is
Like,
that for the
to show
consumer or for delivery?
that was a customer. So
Okay.
under Chapter 9 of delivery,
Mm-hmm.
but that's like I said, that chapter is so it's 3 points and it doesn't make it very
How
clear
are-
for that.
How are they gonna know that it was delivery?
That's what it says.
So does that mean every time someone gets caught with marijuana in their vehicle or on their possession, they're gonna ask for a receipt? No.
I mean, you never know. I think it was written this way just to probably keep some like fucking hard asses from accepting it, but I don't think it's gonna be enforced very much.
Yeah, when you write something like this, you have to be extremely detailed because then people like we're just asking general questions.
Yeah, I mean,
And
vague.
there's no answers.
I don't know who told me this, but I don't know if it was like a lawyer or something. But like being vague is like awesome for lawyers
Mhm.
because you're fucking you're free.
Especially for defense lawyers.
Defense lawyers. I mean, that's what we're technically we'd all be on the defense side,
defense,
right?
yeah.
So I mean, it's vague enough. Fine, I guess it's cool. I don't think
Because they can't prove because in our country it's a prove without reasonable doubt, and there's no reasonable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's not black and white, then it's kind
Yeah,
of
because let's say I buy it from Bud on the Go or whatever delivery system, and they deliver it, and the cop comes up like, no, I just bought this at XXX fucking clinic. How would they know? They don't know.
Exactly.
you can reference in your defense that and say, see, it doesn't say like whatever.
But
And-
that's the thing. If you have it, keep it in your trunk. Like you don't. It's the same thing as like
Alcohol.
alcohol. It's an open bottle container. Like you can't have it in the front. You gotta.
Yeah.
It's gotta be closed and keep it in the bag. If it's technically, you're only supposed to have it from the clinic to your house.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
be driving around.
can't be driving around with it. That's
You
the
can't
only
open
time
the
you're
bag.
supposed to
You
have
no
it.
idea.
Unless you say you're like staying at someone's house.
Yeah, like I was gonna go, like I'm sleeping over at my mom's house today, and it's my medicine, so I had to take it over there.
Mhm.
But at that time, you still have to have it, like put it away. You can't have it like in your pocket. You can't have it on the side. You can have it in your cup holder.
That's why they'll
yeah.
staple your bag.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I was
Oh.
gonna tell you. Like to get it to your house,
Mhm.
they'll like put it in a bag and they'll staple it. So if the bag's opened and
Mhm.
it's not stapled anymore, then they know it's been been
Yeah.
open. That's pretty much that.
But they can't really do anything. They'll just check if you have a DUI.
Yeah.
At that point, it's an open. It's an open
open
container.
container.
Well, now that you said DUI, what constitutes a DUI?
That's what I don't know.
There's nothing.
Can you get let's say you smell like bud? Can you get pulled over
There's
and be like,
no test. There's
Uh-huh.
nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they
No.
have anything like that.
The only
right?
time they can physically pull you over is if they see you smoking. But say they pull you over, you weren't wearing your seatbelt. Oh wait, your vehicle. Now that I pulled you over for
Mhm.
that, and I told you I pulled you over for that, your
Yeah.
car smells like weed.
Yeah.
And they test you, and you didn't smoke
and
today.
to be
I want
honest,
to know how accurate it's gonna be.
if a cop wants to smell weed, he'll smell weed. Because I've been pulled over for talking on the fucking cell phone. I know, lamest shit ever. It's my only ticket to date is talking on the phone. I got pulled over. I had all my windows down because it was hot as shit. He pulls me over. The first thing he says is like, "Why are your windows down?" I'm like, "It's hot." And he's like, "Were you smoking weed?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, it smells like weed." What the fuck? Like, never smoked weed before, and this fool's telling me that my car smells like weed.
Alright.
So, like I said,
Did you have
if they
something
smell
on
like weed, if they want to smell weed, they're gonna
They
smell
can,
weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes in. Like, if even if I have it on me and it's legal, and it's in the trunk, and he says something like weed, can I get a DUI? That's what I'm concerned about.
That's what I want
There's
to.
no test.
There's no way to
There's
tell
no way.
how much
How
THC
stoned
was
you're-
in your system at the time you got pulled over.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. With
For
alcohol,
this, I recommend you guys check out these guys. They're called the Pop Brothers in law. They're all about like the law for that. So if you have any questions, look them up, and they have like their website fucking explains a lot about that
we're
too.
the law guys.
Yeah.
Can't advertise other companies.
Yeah, for real,
Come on.
dog.
Well, you're trying to send them to another website. We're trying to keep them here.
Don't click on the link.
We'll put the link below.
Yeah, we'll put
Now
the
we'll
link.
check-
in.
we'll check it out. Off
we'll
topic.
check it
Cause-
out.
No, that's good. That's good though.
Yeah.
We want to get the information to people who are listening.
Yeah,
so
Pop
that's
Brothers,
a great
what?
avenue
Pop
for them to
Brothers
check.
in law or something like that.
Pop Brothers-in-law, yeah. I mean,
The thing that they always tell you is you ask when you get pulled over, you ask if you're being detained. If you are, you shut the fuck up. You don't say anything. You don't say anything until you fucking get your lawyer.
bro, I ain't trying to get shot though.
over an innate the weed in my pocket.
it ain't worth it, you know. What I'm
Well,
saying?
they're not gonna arrest you for an 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I hope not. I mean, that would be kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But yeah, like like you said, you can't test for it. You can't like breathalyze weed and be like, "Oh, this was this high." what's the scale for it? Like super stoned, not stoned, smoked 2 hours ago.
Wasn't there something about like a
still
swab test though? Wasn't there something about
That's the
that?
only
There is
thing I can
something,
think
but
they
I'm
can
pretty
do.
sure
But that
it's-
just shows you
But that-
have it.
Yeah.
It
That
doesn't
in your
show- it
system doesn't show
in
that you
the
were smoking
mouth.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shows-
Yeah.
And
That's-
that's yet
that's
to be
the saliva
determined.
test,
that's,
man.
That's what
Like, I
everyone
was-
else is waiting on.
Yeah,
But that's what I was taught. Like, think about like since your saliva is always reproducing, dude. It like
You shed
That-
the cells in your mouth.
yeah. So
constantly.
that's why they do that, and I think that reads up to like I don't know, to be honest, because I was reading up on that because for a fucking job and all that, they did that. So I was looking up on it. Some people say it takes up to 4 hours for it to fucking go away from like to pass the swab test, or 4, 6, 12, and like 48. Those are like everyone like it bounced around.
Wow.
They
So-
kept reading it, so
so-
I don't know exactly.
There's
what
no.
it is.
It varies.
It varies. But what I've been seeing too is for those, it's not cheap to get like the
swabs?
the swab test. Yeah, so that's why it's not out yet.
Well, let's say
They
this.
do have-
It's not efficient.
Yeah,
Because
you can't find a potency.
If let's say
in someone's
you
blood.
smoked 4 hours ago and you smell like weed and he swabs you, what do you got to go down to the station? He fucking has to like put it in his machine and see if you smoked sometime.
But it'll
from
just
now
say it was in
till-
your system. But
Yeah,
they can't tell you.
because-
so like for me, I had to go through this training because I supervised people overnight,
Mhm.
and I had to go through the whole giving the test, administering, blah 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 blah, and they said it can last in your system up to a week,
Mm-hmm.
or it can go in 4 hours.
I would say depending
It can.
how much you.
Yeah, it depends.
It
It just
depends how much
varies.
you use.
Depends
you know,
on the user. Depends on
yeah.
what they ate that day. Depends
Yeah,
if they
exactly.
use fucking mouthwash.
Liquid.
I was just
Did
about
you,
to say
did
that
you brush
mouthwash
teeth?
or something.
Were you chewing gum before?
Mhm.
That
There's
affects
things to
a lot,
deter
man.
like the yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Because when I had to do that, that was the first thing they told me. Are you chewing gum? And luckily for me, I was. I was like, yes, I am. Like, oh well, we'll still check it out. All right. And they made me throw my gum away. And
Yeah.
the first one, like, I failed this shit. They're like, oh, I think it's broken. Let's try it again.
Wow.
We did it again, and they're like, oh no, you're good.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool.
I mean, it's gonna be hard to test for sure.
Well, with the DUIs, I would say there has to be a probable cause that they stop you in the first place. Marijuana is no longer probable cause. Just because they smell it doesn't mean that they can stop you. There has to be a bigger reason for them to stop you and then go on.
Yeah.
You know,
But
so
it's true. That's
like
true.
like you said, you're training these people overnight. An accident has to happen, or something
Exactly.
has to
Exactly. It's
occur
true.
for you to have to do that. That doesn't mean like, okay, we're all working overnight, random drug tests.
Yeah.
You know, something
Right.
else
I can't just.
bigger
of course.
has to occur.
Which is the same
So-
thing with the DUI too, though. So you get pulled over for a taillight, and then I can tell that you're intoxicated. They're not going to
But
get you for the taillight. They're going to take you for being
But
intoxicated.
if they want to take you in, that's the thing. Like, the things that I don't get when people get arrested, it's like, oh, what'd you get arrested for? Resisting arrest. Well, what were you getting arrested for? Like, well, they just put me down for resisting arrest.
Yeah. I mean, that it didn't start off as that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it's like, so what made you get arrested in the first place for you to resist the arrest?
But what led to the
Like-
resistance?
Yeah, what led to that? And it's like, well, all I have down is fucking resisting arrest.
I got pulled over like 2 months ago, and the first thing this fool says to me as he walks in my window is, "Do you have a warrant out for your arrest?" That was the first thing he said to me, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "No." Like, and then after that, he's like, "Oh, license and registration, fucking goes to that." And then I gave him all my shit, and then he at the end of it, he's like, "Oh yeah, I pulled you over for a taillight was out." But I mean, he was trying to catch me for some other
Yeah.
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, they'll pull you over for whatever the fuck they can pull you over just because you're whatever. And now that they have you on the side of the road, they can walk in and be like, I smell a lot of weed.
Yeah, of course. The only reason they'll get you while your vehicle's moving is if they physically see you hitting the pipe or smoking a joint.
Yeah.
Okay, I pulled you over because I saw you smoking.
Mhm.
Other than that, it could lead up to that. I pulled you over for a taillight. Pulled you over for speeding, but now I smell out, marijuana. I'm going to test you for it. I'm going to search your vehicle.
So let's say you smoke
That's what it's
weed,
gonna be.
and then you have weed in the car, and now you're smoking a cigarette, and the cop pulls you over. He'd be like, "This guy was smoking weed while you're driving." So
Yeah.
it could, it's at
That's
least.
why I roll
As long
my
as they
joints
smell
so
it, they're
tight
going
to
to test it. If they see an
cigarette.
open container.
So
That's the thing with 64. It doesn't say.
you got to be very
Like-
careful, I guess.
Like black and white doesn't tell you.
Yeah.
That's my problem with it because they can either get you or if you know enough and use the vagueness of it, you can
Mhm.
use it for your defense.
Yeah.
Just gotta know the law.
So I guess just for now, just kind of be careful, I guess, and
Pretty much don't have in your car, guys.
Don't have in
your
Do
car.
not have
If
in
you're
your car.
smoking
That's
and
that's
driving,
in
you're
black
pretty
and white.
stupid.
I'll tell you that.
yeah. I was on Facebook the other day.
My buddy does that.
We did
that.
Yeah. Off the
No,
record.
I mean, this guy will smoke
Off
a
the
joint,
record.
roll his windows down, and just buy it later, man. Just
Yeah,
I'm just like,
be discreet about it.
I'm like, what would you
Unless
do?
it's a blunt where it's like make them look twice, you know. It's like
That's what I said. I roll my
cigars,
shit just like cigarettes. They're so tight you can't tell. I smoke in public.
Yeah, but
all the time.
I don't think
But it'll smell.
anyone should be smoking.
No.
driving.
No,
Give it up.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You shouldn't.
Because like I was on Facebook and obviously everyone yesterday was having a heart attack over what was happening. But as far as stoners, some guy was like, "Well, yeah, I drive better when I'm stoned." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not the fucking
That's like
point."
alcoholics saying, "I drive better when I'm drunk."
Yeah, it's I mean, it's honestly it's up to us individuals who we've gone so far to be careful because it's so easy to make it a bad thing again in the eyes of people if we fucking don't treat it properly. If you fuck it up for everyone, basically is what I'm trying to say. I mean, you have to be, I guess, intelligent about it. It only takes a few people to fuck it up for everyone. So,
well, think about it. You know how many accidents happen daily? Now that they check marijuana, it's gonna be brought up a lot. Oh,
that's what they're saying in Colorado.
It's gonna be
Colorado
brought up
accidents
a
have
lot.
gone up 200%.
And what are they gonna say? Oh, marijuana.
Oh, what was the initial?
yeah,
Exactly.
They
don't
and-
have any
numbers.
proof on it. They
Yeah.
haven't.
the thing is, all they give is this number. It went up 200%, but that could have been from maybe the roads were really bad that year or whatever. But everyone will think, hey, guess what was legal that year in Colorado?
Well, what it could be is,
marijuana,
I left his house. I took 2 bong rips and I left his house, and then I'm okay. Like and then I fucking hit a curb or whatever. I fuck up my front bumper, and then cops come and whatever. So it's an accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now they see that I'm intoxicated under marijuana. Now it's a marijuana accident. Now marijuana caused me to crash.
So
That was a reason why I crashed. Not because I wasn't paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
but because
Like someone else
marijuana
can hit you.
was
Yeah, I was
on
gonna say
there.
even if I hit you and
Yeah.
you're intoxicated,
Yeah.
it's your. I'm good.
It's a marijuana related car accident.
See, and that's what makes it look bad. I mean, like I said before, just because it passes a law doesn't mean it's set in stone forever. You can revert back to it. So far, we haven't seen anything yet, but in the
And
future,
just because things are legal doesn't mean they're good things.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
so it's a privilege, I guess, to do it legally,
It is
and
a
that
privilege,
privilege can
right?
be taken away.
just like driving's a privilege.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, if you fucking drink and drive, your life is basically fucked, right?
Yeah, just
So-
you should.
You never know about marijuana, even if it's. Who cares if it's the same effects or not? But in the eyes of people that are already against it, it just gives them more
ammo,
ammunition
yeah.
to fucking shit on our parade. So I guess it's just be weary of the results.
Yeah. Sure.
That was a very long final thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Really, nigga?
Thank you for tuning into podcast number 1. I really hope you enjoyed our show. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, if you guys have any feedback or topics you want us to discuss, please leave a comment and we'll do our best to feature it in our next episode. Also, please head over to projectskunkhub.com if you're interested in more content like weed, clinic, or product reviews. The link will be in the description. And again, thank you. Peace.